What's going on, guys? It's Thomas from the Switch Shop. I'm joined, as always, by Mac and PJ, and welcome to episode 35 of Nintendo Tonight. Now, this is the first normal episode we've had in a while. It's the first time we've recorded one in a couple months, honestly, even though you guys just saw 2 episodes we recorded all the way back in March. Long story short, we're back on the grind. Nintendo Tonight should be bi-weekly from now on. Thanks for all the support on Switched Up. We've kind of revived the channel, and we're really happy with how it's going. We think we're putting out some of the best content we have. Mac is grinding out those 100 facts, and you guys are loving them. Kirby facts revived the channel. I never thought a Kirby video would be the redemption of Switched Up, but here we are. Funny. So, yeah, it's brand.
I thought that video was going to get 6K views. Honestly, the support on that video has just been insane.
260K views. Yeah. The video is actually popping off. But anyway, that is not what we're here to talk about today. Maybe we should talk about Kirby more, but we're not going to. We have a lot to talk about, actually, because we haven't done a podcast in a while. This Nintendo Tonight podcast, if you're new, it's generally where we like to kind of mess around a bit more. We'll generally do a lot of segments. We'll do some trivia. We'll do some challenges, stuff like that. But for this video, we just want to talk about Nintendo, because that's obviously, what we mainly do here. And we haven't had the chance to because we haven't had an episode in a long time. So we're going to start things off with the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Pass. I guess Wave 1 and Wave 2, but mainly Wave 2, because that's, the most recent one. I've made plenty of videos on the channel about this, so I'm sure people already kind of know my thoughts. So I'm going to hand this over to one of you two. Either one could just start. And, all right. I mean, how are we feeling about this second wave here, boys?
Mac, I'll go first. I think... Oh, you want to go?
No, you go.
Oh,
go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So obviously I don't like Mario Kart Tour, but I think that's kind of beaten to death at this point. I'm honestly, now that I've come to terms with this booster course pass, I'm actually kind of enjoying it. Most of these courses I haven't played since they're on tour, like Sydney Sprint, love that one, Paris Promenade. I love what they did with Calamari Desert with the, split path. I think for what we're getting, I think it's actually really living up to beat my expectations.
Yeah, after seeing Wave 1, I was kind of skeptical because I was like, the graphics, but I mean, I think they've kind of stepped up a little bit. I don't really think it looks exactly the original Mario Kart 8 Deluxe courses, as good as they look, graphically wise, but they're getting there. Obviously we saw that update to Coconut Mall. Well, I know. Oh, I know for sure.
The original Mario Kart 8 tracks are I think Mario Kart 8's the best looking video game Nintendo's ever put out.
I second that 100%. Yeah. Bro, they're beautiful. Those original tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Which
no, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna say they look so good, but I'm with the we've had Mario Kart 8. I've been playing those original tracks since 2014, 2015 when the original Mario Kart 8 DLC came out on the Wii U. So I would have loved to have the tracks look that good, but if Nintendo is fully remaking all of these tracks, we're not getting 48, we're getting 16. I've always been of the position where in this specific scenario, I like quantity over graphical quality just because we're not getting a new Mario Kart for a long time. I think we can all understand that. We've been playing the same game since 2014. I just want literally we still have 32 new tracks. We're still getting as many tracks in the Booster Course Pass that Mario Kart 8 launched with. That is insane to me.
That's insane.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I love it. I love the second wave. I think it's great. The
second wave was definitely a lot better than Wave 1, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think everyone kind of agrees with that. Because Wave 1 was fun, but it also I feel Wave 2 has a solid 2 tracks that are not that fun to race on. And for me, those tracks are Mario Kart or Mario Circuit 3 and the new one, Sky High Sunday. Those 2 tracks really aren't my favorite thing. Every other track has something unique. Waluigi Pinball is Waluigi Pinball. Snowland and Mushroom Gorge both have super cool shortcuts. There's something in the rest of the tracks. And then you look back to Booster Course Pass 1, I'm going to be honest, Sky Garden, Toad Circuit, Choco Mountain, those are not courses that I'm really excited to go back to when I see them come up on online. Whereas I feel Wave 2, even after this honeymoon period is over, I will still be thoroughly enjoying all these courses.
For sure. Yeah. I actually agree with that for sure. And one of the biggest parts of, this entire DLC arguably wasn't actually the tracks that, came out, but was actually the data miners that, clutched up and helped us out. Because we
True.
got a lot of leaks. I actually don't have those pulled up, and I don't know if we want to talk about them even. But I know that we know a bunch of what else is coming, so that's interesting.
Let's not name any of them in particular, just in case, because I know there are a fair amount of people who love the hype and just want to try and go through spoiler free. Which I don't know how you're gonna make it until the end of 2023 without hearing those spoilers, because you already know Wave 3 is gonna drop and Nintendo's gonna accidentally have left like an entire course in the files with the way the data mines are going now. So good luck to anyone trying to avoid spoilers, but for those of you who aren't trying to avoid spoilers, you know what we're talking about. Some of these courses are very exciting to see coming up. So yeah, can't wait for those. And you're right, PJ. Like the data mines, Nintendo always does this though. Like I'm even thinking back to Smash 4. I remember it was Roy and Ryu were both leaked because voice lines for them were left in like I think Lucas's inclusion when they updated the game and added Lucas,
Nintendo has been like historically bad at like leaving things in, because you even think back to like Smash 4, like I'll even say just like leaks wise they're awful, because all of Smash 4's roster got leaked because of the ESRB leak, the infamous ESRB leak. Like somebody was like a play tester or whatever, and they shared gameplay online and that entire roster was there. So that's a whole other thing. But they definitely do that a lot, so kind of funny. But
I mean, when you take a company that is prone to having a lot of leaks because their fan base is so rabid, and then that same company also for some reason just doesn't understand that data mining is a thing and often leaves in like traces of future updates in their current games that they haven't announced yet, like you're bound to have, of course, a bunch of leaks. That's what we got here for Mario Kart. But maybe we'll make a video talking about them, so if you're not somehow subscribed to the Switched Up channel for that, or maybe we'll even do it in a segment in a future podcast. But for now, we're not going to name anything specific, because anyone who wants to try and avoid those, totally respect that.
For sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so
it's interesting though. I'll just kind of end off with this. Like as you said, there's going to be so many more courses still in the Booster Course Pass, and although this is the same Mario Kart from 2014, we're still getting new content, so that's a good thing. I mean, I think all of us were kind of on Nintendo a little bit there, because we were like, this is so bad faith. They're just profiting, and there's just like, we could have so many more courses, and we're just not getting any DLC for this game. But they finally gave us it, and we love to see it. Mario Kart 10, I would assume it would be called, because Mac, unfortunately, Mario Kart Tour is internally considered.
I think
Mario
they're going
Kart
to
9.
drop the number. I don't think they're going to go with the number after this.
Oh, really? Okay.
I don't think so. No.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Mario Kart Crossroads.
Something like that. Yeah.
So you do think it might be Crossroads, yeah? But anyway,
or Triple Dash,
How do we know? Because it's so far in advance. But I mean, although the DLC, again, it's doing a good job tiding us over. Mario Kart 8 was already the game that had the most courses with 48, and we're doubling that over the course of 2 years. I love the fact that again, data mines kind of screwed this up, but there's going to be a consistent hype cycle, because we don't know for sure what those courses coming up are going to be. So it's kind of like bringing us back to the Smash 4, Smash Wii U days, which is super cool. To kind of end off the Mario Kart segment, though, let's all go around. What is your favorite track of this new wave? I don't know how much you guys have played it. I've been playing it a fair bit. So, I can start off if you guys want, or someone else take the floor. All right. I know Waluigi is the fan favorite, or Waluigi's Pinball.
Yep.
But I gotta say, it's tied between two for me. I'm gonna leave one open though, because I know one of you guys probably has this other course. So I'm gonna say Sydney Sprint. Tour Sydney Sprint, I think, is by far, not by far, because I just said I was like tied, but like it's by far the best tour track back, if you don't count Ninja Hideaway. Like the best city track, I guess, makes more sense. I think Sydney Sprint is super cool. Theming wise, doesn't make me think Australia. I don't see that and I go, oh, this is Australia, besides the fact that I see like the Sydney Opera House. But I don't know, like I've never been to Sydney, so I can't really speak onto that at all. I just think the layout of the course is super fun. It changes up the laps, which is what pretty much all the city courses have been doing. But the past city courses, like, I don't know, if you play New York Minute or you play Tokyo Blur, or even Paris Promenade, like the laps don't feel that changed. You're basically racing on the same thing, but it feels still very much like the same lap 3 times. You're just taking like different turns or something. Yeah. This feels like very different laps. Like the first one is completely different from the second, which, I think is super cool. It reminds me more of Big Blue and Mount Wario than something like, I don't know, Tokyo Blur, which like doesn't really feel like it's a 3-lap different every single time course, in my opinion. And the music's a banger. It's one of the best songs in Mario Kart 8. Like, they cheaped out on the graphics a little bit. They did not cheap out on the music. The music sounds just as good as all the other courses, at least in Sydney Sprint's example. So yeah, that's mine. Mac, what is your favorite?
My favorite has got to be Snowland. I think Snowland, because, it's a GBA course. Like, it shouldn't look that good, but like for some reason, what they did with the ice or whatever, it just looks so pretty to drive on. And I also love the shortcut that they have where you like basically cut an entire corner. Like, that's just, I love shortcuts like that aren't like so like, ooh, you go through this little area right here. Like, it's hidden. It's a really fun track.
For sure.
I totally agree. I mean, look at it right there. Like, you got the penguins, you got the ice, you got the like crystals in the back. I love the colors of this track too. I totally have to agree with you there, Mac, because you got, every ice track is going to have a bunch of blue, but then the sky, I don't know if it's like sunrise or sunset.
The purple and the pink, it's just so
beautiful
pretty.
Purple and pink in the background. It's a very aesthetically pleasing track. I would have to agree.
Agreed. Honestly, I'm gonna be a little basic here. Waluigi Pinball, because I remember in a video a long time ago, we were just talking about like courses that we wanted to see come to the Booster Pass period, and I chose Waluigi Pinball because Mario Kart DS was the first Mario Kart that I like really started playing a lot of, so has to be Waluigi's Pinball. I know there's a lot of people upset about how like the music when you turn near the end here, like here, like I'll literally. So if you see the mouse on the screen here. So there's a lot of people like online complaining about apparently when you turn here, the music doesn't, or like the machine back here doesn't make a sound like it does in like previous iterations, which I don't know if that's fixed, but I've seen a lot of people complaining about that. But regardless, it's nice piece of nostalgia because I played the hell out of this course on the Mario Kart game that I've played the most of. So definitely Waluigi Pinball for me.
Yeah, I mean, stuff like that is such a minor nitpick, especially when they got the custom item roulette sounds in there.
Yep.
And I think this is probably up there for one of the best looking tracks in the Booster Course Pass.
Agreed.
Not necessarily because they did extra work on the modeling, but as Max said, Mario Kart 8's visually is one of the best games, if not the best game Nintendo's ever made, and a lot of that is because of the lighting engine. Like, the lighting in this game is just beautiful. So when you mix that with a course like Waluigi Pinball, where there's literally lights everywhere, just like super vibrant, super saturated, super colorful, I mean, you get what you see, which is just a beautiful course. So yeah, I mean, that makes complete sense, PJ.
Yep. All right.
Oh, that's it for Mario Kart. Until Nintendo drops something else, that's probably about gonna conclude our Wave 2 coverage. Let us know in the comments or tweet at us if you're on the audio side, any audio listeners. Let us know, do you want to see a leak review type, video? Because we could totally do that. Again, as we've said, though, we're just trying to be a little bit not
cautious
skeptical,
of people
but cautious, exactly.
That want to be surprised, and I totally understand that. But hot take, actually, I like seeing the leaks, at least for Mario Kart, because I'm like, oh, this is so sick. We get to see this course and this wave, and like I'm gonna play the hell out of this, So
yeah.
But I can respect people
sense.
wanting the surprise because of course. So anyway,
100%.
Moving on here, we have Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. This is interesting. So obviously we know that if you're a longtime podcast listener, Nintendo Tonight listener, you know that I am very critical of these, Pokemon Switch games. So I will, leave my bit for last. But what do you guys think of this game now that we've seen, an intro trailer, the unprecedented thing of having the legendary Pokemon, like the cover legendary Pokemon being ride Pokemon, as we can see here. Like, what are we thinking of the game?
The legendaries are so ugly. They're just like lizards that are motorcycles. Like, what? And
they just revealed
you see
another
the other
one.
The Scarlet one, it runs. It has like wheels, but it runs. Look how dumb that looks.
Yeah, I'm gonna slow it down. I'm gonna literally slow it down for the visual viewers.
Yeah, audio listeners, it's a Pokemon that has wheels, but is running.
But it
instead
runs
of using
like,
the wheels.
Why? Like, why?
Yeah.
I'm literally gonna buy Violet. I don't care if like Scarlet has the most stacked Pokemon roster of all time. I am going to buy Violet because I totally agree with Mac. That is one of the dumbest design like Pokemon that I have ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, at least remove the wheels, man. Like, why would you do that? Like,
the
it's
worst
so
part is
bad.
The worst part is if you think these two legendaries are bad and you don't like those designs, they literally just announced a new Pokemon today. I forget what it's called. It's green. They showed it off in like the championship, Pokemon Championship thing. It looks the exact same. It's just the legendaries, but green. Yeah, it's like 10 seconds in. It's the exact same Pokemon, but green. It still has the wheels.
I haven't seen this yet.
It was
here. Look at it.
There's the wheel.
It's like a unicycle, but of that. It's so. Oh my god.
Like I feel like that's.
It's so.
It looks so similar to the legendaries, but it's green and not as cool and a wheel. And you get the legendaries at the start of the game now, apparently, because because
they're ride
Pokemon the whole game.
They're ride Pokemon, yeah.
Which I don't understand. I think the only thing that would make me actually want to buy this game, because full disclosure, I'm very Pokemoned out right now. Like if I want to go play Pokemon, which is not a feeling I have often, I will go back and finish the Pokedex of Sword and Shield, or I will play on my Game Boy or DS because I have, all the old Pokemon games. I don't really feel the need to buy Scarlet or Violet right now. If I do buy it, it'll be to make videos on it. With that being said, like, I just, the only thing that is like semi-intriguing about this game to me is the story. Because in the Direct, they said there's like 3 different stories in the game, and you need to complete all of them to unlock the post-game content. And one of them's like your typical Pokemon go to the gym, beat all 8 gyms in any order because it's open world, and become the leader or whatever. And then the other story, I would assume one of the other stories is one of the other ones has got to be like whatever the rival team is, which I don't even know if they've disclosed that, but there's always like a rival team. There's always some, team hideout or whatever. What is this third story? Is it this like academy thing we're seeing on screen right now? At least they're doing something different, because stories aren't a huge part of Pokemon games, but as PJ will say, like recently, like Sword and Shield, what are you doing with that story? Like there was nothing there. It was not like, it didn't make me want to play the game. At least this looks like it would make me want to continue playing. But then I see those legendary Pokemon designs, and I like, what? Bro's on a motorcycle. Why is he running? He had. It pissed me off. I don't understand,
dude. It really pains me because like the game kind of does look fun. Like I saw the new trailer and I tweeted out like, this game actually looks really cool, but. This is 2022, and oh my god, like what, guys? This literally looks like GameCube textures right now. Like, what are we doing?
It looks worse than a GameCube texture. Sunshine looked better than this, I think.
And people are saying this is a good-looking Pokemon game, because the other ones have just looked so bad. Yeah. Like,
oh man,
I don't know, man.
Because when they tried to do the, Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, that game looks exactly like the DS game, but like smoother. Does that make sense? Like,
I'd honestly prefer that over this.
Yeah, I mean,
it's so
and that game was a copy paste of a game that was made in 2007. By the way, Switch
with
game
the same glitches intact, which is absurd. That is the funniest thing of all time.
I actually could not believe it. Like, I searched it up. The same Shaman glitch is in the game as it was in 2007. They didn't.
It's not a remake.
It's like they copy pasted. It's like a remaster.
Port. It's an HD.
It's a port. It's a port. Yeah.
With less content somehow. I don't understand how they messed that up. But the platinum content is just not there. At least I don't think it was at launch.
Yeah, because one thing I was really looking forward to was the Distortion World, but they said, nah. And I understand that it's like a Diamond remake. But like that,
did they do the Emerald post game in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire?
They had the Delta. They had the Delta episode post game.
They have the Delta
which is
episode.
even cooler.
Yeah,
that's even cooler than what they had. It was a cooler way to have like Rayquaza and Deoxys, in my opinion.
And I'm just thinking, like, obviously you're making a game that's like towards Arceus completely, right? And like, I completely understand that, but it's like BDSP was just like thrown out to the wolves, and it was like, you can have this game, and then like we'll sprinkle in little like legendary events on later instead of doing it at initial release, and
and nobody's playing that game now.
No, unless you're a competitive player, you are not playing that game at all. You're actually playing Sword and Shield if you're playing a Pokemon game.
They should have used it as a buffer year with Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl and gave both of Arceus and this game a little bit more time.
Chance.
I feel like both these games are so undercooked. Like Well, I haven't played that game, but Legends Arceus. What I know PJ enjoyed it, but I played 4 hours of it, got bored, and haven't picked it up since.
Yeah, well, I mean, we were in a Discord call. It was like, I don't think Thomas was there. It was like me, Mac, and, our editor, Kagan. And we were all talking about, like, Pokemon. And Kagan and I both said, like, Legends Arceus was great. And Mac was like, I played, like, 4 hours of it. And we go, like, you haven't even completed the tutorial. It was like...
But if a tutorial is 4 hours long, at that point, like, what's the point?
Well, no,
Dog would be in shambles picking up Xenoblade. That tutorial is the entire game. I'm watching my sister. She's in the post game, and mechanics pop up and explain what you're supposed to do. I'm like, how are you still learning stuff? Like, how are you still in like a tutorial-looking menu? And she's like, yeah, that's just what JRPGs do. Like, she's just like used to it because she loves those types of games. Like, she 100%ed Persona 5, which is like a trillion-hour game to 100%. Like, you got to play it 17 times. Like, I just personally, I don't have the time, and even if I did. Like, it's just I can't be bothered.
But back to Scarlet and Violet, I don't know. I like this game is obviously going to sell well because the Switch effect, which internally is just what we call whatever's put on Switch, it will likely sell like hotcakes. So there you go.
Okay, I've got a question about the game.
Sure, dude.
Is it open world like Arceus, or is it open world like for real?
It's open world, and it's also full multiplayer throughout that open world, which is like pretty neat. You can have up to 4 other people, I believe, in the world. And
so it's not like Arceus where it's like, oh, you click what location you want to go to, and then you run around there.
It's not open world zones. It is one complete world.
That makes it a little better, I think. At least for me.
I would assume every sort of interior is a loading zone. Like, I don't think you will be able to seamlessly walk into a house or walk into a gym, but luckily, at least, Pokemon centers are literally like shacks outside, so you can just straight walk up to them and not even have to go inside and heal your Pokemon. So it's not like you should not, like, once you load in, you should not be having too many loading zones. It should all be a seamless experience, which is what Pokemon should have been as soon as it came to the Switch. But obviously, it's just the problem is they're just pumping out so many games. Like, you look, we had 2018 Let's Go, 2019 Sword and Shield, 2020 was everyone would call 2020 like the weakest year for Pokemon in terms of just sheer output, but they still put out 2 significant expansions for Sword and Shield with the expansion pass. And then the 2021 we get Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl at the end, at the end of the year. 2022 we start off with Legends Arceus and then end with a brand new generation. That's not to mention all the spin-offs, which naturally probably take up a fair amount of development time. Like, they're still pumping, like, Pokemon Unite, Pokemon Cafe Mix, they had new Pokemon Snap, a remake of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, and, like, obviously not all those are made specifically by Game Freak, but it's got to take up creative bandwidth. Like, they, they're just putting out so many games. They don't have the capacity to do this, clearly, because they are not putting out, like, any really super high quality games, in my opinion, at least.
But my problem with it is that it's gonna sell just as well as Sword and Shield did, just as well as Let's Go Pikachu. Like, there's no reservations for not doing this. Like, they've got 100%. I don't know. It's just
a bit of a leak here, honestly. I'm probably still going to. I was thinking of doing a video just like that, talking about why Game Freak literally doesn't change the graphics, why they keep doing the same thing over and over again. And it was literally including my cousin, who's like 8 years old. I literally interviewed him. It's actually a really cute video. I'll send it to you guys after. And I was like, all right, Graham, like, what do you think about, like, because he's played Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, and all the Pokemon Switch games. And I'm like, what do you think about Mario Odyssey? He's like, that's a really fun game. What do you think about Breath of the Wild? That's a really fun game. What do you think about, the Pokemon games? That's a really fun game. Which one has the best graphics out of the 3 of those? And he's just, like, silent, and he doesn't know, because he doesn't care. Like, I'm like, which one looks the best? He's like, yeah, I think they all look fine. I'm like, do the visuals of, like, Sword and Shield, like, what do you think about the trees in the wild area? He's like, well, sometimes I go in there and I catch a Pikachu, and it makes me happy. I'm like, okay, yeah, so that sums it up. It's a game made for little kids, and they just don't care about the graphics. So the old, even though we're, like, we're not, like, old. There are way older people than us playing these Pokemon games. But, like, yeah, true. He just got a few years left. But, there's no reason they should ever change it, because as big as the Pokemon, like, online community is, their main audience is always going to be little kids. They're always going to, be the ones buying the games. Like my little cousin has he has Sword and Shield and both of the Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl games just because he didn't know that they were different, and so we got them, and then he's just been playing them, and he enjoys them both. That is a demographic that will always be buying more games.
Yep. So
why would Game Freak ever change what they're doing? It clearly works.
I mean, it totally makes sense. It's just unfortunate because what I'm literally showing on screen right now is us who kind of care more about the actual games. This is just laggy. Honestly, the FPS for this is just not stable, not cool. Don't really mess with it too much. But obviously, like you said, the kids don't care, and they shouldn't, because when we were kids, we thought the exact same thing, or we actually didn't think it at all. So it sucks, but it kind of is what it is. And I just got to cross my fingers that the next Nintendo console, whether it be Switch 2, Switch Pro, whatever, is more powerful, so it gives Game Freak more leeway, because you can see what they're trying to do, but they just seem really limited by the Switch's specs and everything. So I don't know.
But even if the Switch's specs were better, would they even want to try and make it better?
It's a good question.
The Switch can
really
run
know,
Breath
right?
of the Wild. Why aren't these games like Breath of the Wild?
Yeah,
because they don't have to.
I talk a lot of crap about Xenoblade. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is probably the most technically mesmerizing game on Switch. It doesn't look the best always, but the worlds are huge, the models are beautiful, the textures are amazing. That game looks overall really good for a Switch game. And then you look at something like Pokemon, it's I don't think it's a Switch problem. I think it's a time, aka Pokemon not having enough time. It's a skill. They don't have enough people or don't have the knowledge to do it. And it's I guess willpower. They just straight don't care. If Xenoblade looked like crap, the people who buy Xenoblade would not buy it. If Pokemon looks like crap, the 7-year-olds are still going to write that on their Christmas wish list. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I mean,
look
honestly,
at this is insane. I don't know, PJ, do you have the Xenoblade thing up for the viewers see this?
I do.
If you fast forward and look at just some of the shots of the vistas, that stuff is insane. This looks leagues ahead. Look at this. This is beautiful for a Switch game, and it runs at a relatively stable frame rate. I have not played the game, but when I watch my sister play, which she's been playing a fair bit, both on TV and handheld, I've not seen any significant frame rate dips, especially when you're just traveling the vistas, which is when, graphics matter the most. I'm sure the resolution bumps down when you're in a super intensive battle or something, but whatever.
I mean, if you guys actually remember when we originally talked about Scarlet and Violet, we actually said why doesn't Monolith hop on this game? Because they obviously are making the Xenoblade games and they look great. What if Pokemon got that same treatment? And it's I mean, obviously it's a way bigger franchise than Xenoblade, so I mean, why not ask them for help? Why not?
100%.
Because I don't know, you never know. And clearly Monolith has not helped with Scarlet and Violet or any past Pokemon game, so there you go. But fingers crossed that somehow this can be turned into a very stable game that doesn't have a lot of lag or anything, but I don't know how possible that is. So yeah, who knows.
And honestly, I think we just hated on Scarlet and Violet for maybe 20 minutes, so I do want to say one thing positive. I think this is the best selection of starters in the history of the franchise. I cannot all of the starters look amazing. I've been saying that since as soon as they were shown off. I think
over
they're so
Gen,
cool.
You're even gonna say it's a better selection over Gen 1. Dude,
well, I'd say Gen 1 is more
Bulbasaur
iconic.
and Squirtle and Charmander.
I think they're all cute. Yeah.
I agree.
No, I see where you're going. There's no. I think what I see is none of them are ew, that's ugly. It's
the most even selection.
They're most even.
Good designs.
They're all very even. Yeah.
Even within Gen 1, Bulbasaur fans don't hate me. Who picks Bulbasaur?
Yeah.
Pretty much no one. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I feel this will
true.
have a very even selection. There's always that one or maybe even two outliers in a generation of 3 starters where
I'll agree with
that. Okay, you got a cute cat here. You got whatever the hell the fire one is supposed to be, Fuecoco. I have no clue. I'm assuming an alligator maybe, but it's super young when it's a starter, so I don't know. And then you got the little duck thing, Quaxley, I think it's called. all those look sick. I don't know. I love the starters. I cannot praise this enough. I think, obviously, you can't say it beats Gen 1 because, like, nostalgia and those are iconic, like, characters in pop culture. Yep. If all of the starters, like, didn't exist and then just one day Pokemon was like, hey, we have, like, 9 different options of starters for the next one, which like trio would you want? I think this would be the one that everyone ended up picking because I think they're very consistent. They're all cute. They all have interesting designs. Like, I think it's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I think my only like complaint with that, I guess, would be that the grass one, and like I'm not gonna say the name. I guess I will, because like I think we're gonna like butcher it really badly, but it's like Sprigatito or something like that. It looks a lot like Fennekin. Yeah, it looks a lot like Fennekin. Yeah. And like I don't know, like it really
also,
does.
What's the sorry, Mac would know this because I know you loved Alola. What's the young Incineroar called? I just forget.
Oh, Litten.
Yeah, Litten.
Or is that
it looks
kind
of like a...
I think I'm thinking of Litten. Let's see. I am. Yeah, Litten, not Fennekin. Yeah. It looks a lot.
Okay. Well, it looks kind of like a combo between the two of them, if I'm being honest. I thought that's what you were going for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird. Gen 7 had a cat starting Pokemon, and Gen 9 also has a cat starting Pokemon, but overall, I think the cat style fits the grass type better, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think... Yeah, I don't know. Litten was cool, and Incineroar was dope, but I don't think a fire cat makes as much sense. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, there it is. Yeah. I don't know. It's pretty cool. I like all the starters. I mean, I have not seen a non-starter Pokemon in this game that I think looks particularly good yet. Like, of course, you have the, like, Lechonk, which is, like, clearly just their bait Pokemon. Yeah. They always have one or two of those, but I think the starters, for what it's worth, are really, really cute. Like, these are cool animations, too, for the starters. Like, naturally, those will probably play once when you get to pick the starters, and we'll never see animations that good in the game again. But if we do, that would be neat.
Agreed. Yeah, just kind of like end that off. I mean, I'm definitely gonna buy them. Obviously, cautiously optimistic, just like I was with Legends Arceus, but I ended up really liking that game. So who knows? Could be a fun experience, but you know, we will have to see when it comes out in November. But my favorite part about that, what we just did, was like the hating on the legendaries. Honestly, great work.
Yeah, go back, hit like the back button on your keyboard 2 times. We just got to see those again because there was just a shot of like 4 people with the legendaries. Yeah. Yep, that one at night.
If everybody's got a legendary, are they legendary?
Are they legendaries? No! They're the most common Pokemon in the game.
Yeah.
They will be the literally most common Pokemons in the game because everyone, like, even with the starters, it's a 33% chance. Like, there will be approximately, like a third of the players choosing one, a third of the players choosing another, a third of the players choosing the other. For the legendaries, it's 50-50, and you get them at the start. So...
Yeah. Well, I think if they go the typical route of, like, at the end... or near the end, you're given the Master Ball, and then you're going to go catch a Legendary. I think there's a third Legendary that's, like, yet to be revealed, but, like, this is the cover Pokemon.
You gotta be right, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is unprecedented, right? Like, God. I wish they would change the design of the one with the legs. Like, what? Oh, God.
The fact that they even have wheels in general is just so...
dumb.
It's dumb. Animal. It's not... They're not...
Yeah.
They have wheels! Well, what are we doing here?
Yeah, it's like they're genetically modifying animals in a lab and like giving these Pokemon like wheels and
I hope
feet.
they have a good backstory because, you know...
Oh, they won't.
They're not doing it right now. They're not doing it for me.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of genetically modified animals, I have a question, Mac.
Oh my God.
Are you a kid now, or are you a squid now?
Good one.
Are you a kid or are you a squid?
I'm a squid.
You're a squid?
Yeah.
I'm a kid still. I'm not going to squid. PJ's the little salmonoid down on the bottom left of the screen right now. You can see the little chum guy sitting there. Splatoon 3. Let's talk about it. I'm assuming this is going to be very controversial because Pokemon fans are used to having their franchise talked bad about because no one talks bad about Pokemon more than Pokemon fans. PJ will attest to that themselves. Splatoon fans, I've noticed this. They do not like when anyone has any problems about their game at all. In fact, they will defend it with their lives and come after you. So anything we say will probably get used against us, but whatever. Gonna speak our minds. What are our thoughts about Splatoon 3 right now, boys? Hype or not?
I am so disappointed. I am so
Really?
disappointed.
Okay, coming out strong.
Because Splatoon 2 was really great, and obviously that game had a huge community, so, selling like hotcakes, so I can understand why they would want to make a third, because it's not selling as well as Mario Kart 8, because, like, what is? But, when you go to Splatoon 3, you're assuming some sort of, like, bigger jump. Now, I don't know what the jump was from Splatoon 1 to 2, so maybe one of you can help me out, but...
It was basically this. There was basically no jump except new weapons, so...
Salmon Run.
Yeah.
There was Salmon Run.
There was Salmon Run.
That's the one big thing.
But for right now, I don't really see any sort of like significant like upgrade between the two games. Like I don't know why I'm not going to keep playing Splatoon 2 instead of 3, because we were hoping for some sort of like new mode, and we just did not get that at all. I think in the direct and in the trailer here, they try to show off the new hub world where you go to choose like multiplayer or whatever. And looks cool and everything, but that's something that's gonna get me like super excited. I think all three of us, we were expecting obviously a bigger mode, and what that mode would have been is Battle Royale. I felt that Thomas made a really good short about it on Switch Stop, so if you haven't seen that, go check it out. But we did not really get that, and it was kind of disappointing. It really was, because this just feels like Splatoon 2, but with like a little bit of spice and some new colors, and like, yay, new Splatoon game. Like I don't know what it really does for me. I wasn't the biggest Splatoon fan, and I know like the fan base is massive, but I don't know how you can legitimately be like super excited for this, like, oh yes, it's a new Splatoon game, like this is great, for like multiplayer wise, because I mean I would assume they're gonna have a story mode, but past that, what I think we can all agree what people most play is multiplayer. So, to not have that battle royale or some sort of new mode is just like crazy. Like I don't know. It was just kind of disappointing.
When it comes to
no, you go.
Okay, I just want to like make it clear. Any Splatoon fan is going to, like, anyone who's a hardcore Splatoon fan is going to be excited for this game.
Oh, they're gonna love
because
the game.
There are enough small changes that
you'll enjoy it.
It is a new game. It's not a port. It's not a, it deserves to be a sequel. I will say that. But at the same time, a new dodge roll, a new weapon, a new card battling minigame, a new system where you can customize a locker, like match replay. These are great features. It's missing that one selling point that I think we all kind of expected it to have. And you got like, it's just one of those things where if you're going to buy this game, more power to you. But at the same time, even if you're a massive Splatoon fan, you can't be saying, like, you cannot be confused as to why people think this is, like, not 100% worth it. Like, this is, like, it's adding quality of life features that should have already been there, weapons that are cool, but at the same time, like, we have been getting weapon updates consistently for Splatoon for years now, so that's not like anything super crazy. The new story mode, which looks really cool, but at the same time you have a dope story mode in Splatoon 2 and Octo expansion. Like, anyone who is a casual fan of Splatoon, bought Splatoon 2 at launch, played it a bit, and then maybe dropped it like a couple years later, I don't think there's enough here to justify a purchase instead of just going back and playing more Splatoon 2. Now, granted, I'm still going to buy the game, and I'm the exact person I just described. So, like, clearly there is, like, an alert to the fact that it's 3. It's the new game. Like, the fact that it's going to be the talk of the town, that's going to do this game more favors than anything else. But, like, even if you're a huge fan of Splatoon, like, you got to admit, this is a bit lackluster for a sequel, considering Splatoon 2 came out only 2 years after Splatoon 1, and arguably has more changes. We got new weapon types in the form of the dually, which had its own kind of dodge roll, so I guess that cancels out 2 things in one. We got Salmon Run, which is a brand new mode. We got different maps. We got, ended up getting Octo expansion. Obviously didn't have that at launch, but like the fact that we got Salmon Run kind of means like, okay, so 2 years after we did get a big new mode, but now Splatoon 3 is 5 years after Splatoon 2, and it's just like a bunch of minor additions instead of one major one. Like, it's just a little confusing as like a casual fan. But again, hardcore fans are gonna love this. A lot of casual fans are gonna buy it too because it's a huge name brand thing. But again, like you can't help but be a little bit upset that there's not anything super like big, I guess, in it.
Yeah,
if that
I
makes
think
any
they
sense.
put themselves in a bit of a pickle here, especially with releasing Splatoon 2 at launch of the Switch alongside all of the heavy hitters. Like,
Yep.
Splatoon, I feel like, is one of those games that works better as a middle of the generation like game. Something to like break, big Mario and Zelda games, like something like multiplayer to give people something to play. And what worked with Splatoon 2 was that it was on the Switch. It's not that big of a jump from Splatoon 1 when you look at it. Like, it's about as big, maybe a little more with Salmon Run from Splatoon 2 to Splatoon 3. Like, I think the only thing that makes this a worse sequel than Splatoon 2 is that's on the same console as Splatoon 2.
Agreed.
If this is on the Switch 2 or whatever's next, I think people aren't saying the same things.
Yep. Agreed. And it also kind of is depending on if that's going to be backwards compatible. And obviously, we would assume that it is. But obviously, jumping from the Wii U to the Switch, like Splatoon was not looked at like, oh, like Splatoon 2, it's like not even close to Splatoon 1. It's like, new console, new, features. Like when the Switch was first released, it was so exciting. And like the whole concept of it still is. But I agree. It's not going to be looked at the same, but I think we've just been expecting more after seeing like this franchise succeed so much. And it's not like this is some sort of like indie franchise. It's like Nintendo considers Splatoon one of their top 4 franchises, I think. And what's indicated by that is like, on their site, which is, like, I think it's Mario. It has like Link on it, an Inkling, and then a Villager. So like,
those are their big 4. Showing that right there. That's their big 4.
What Nintendo considers internally their big 4 franchises. So, having that, and then, as Thomas said, and, obviously made really good points about the quality of life stuff, like, I was expecting like a, whoa, like, this is cool, because, like, I'm a casual Splatoon fan. Like, I'm not somebody that's going to, like, sit online for, like, a 5-hour session, like, play through. Like, I don't know, that's just not me. So I don't think I'll be picking up Splatoon 3 because it's not something that is going to make me go like, wow, this is like a crazy sequel. But yeah, I mean, if you're a big Splatoon fan, I can understand why you're going to love this game. But, for a more casual type of fan like me, I think I'll skip on this one unless they add some sort of free update, including this new mode, which actually I wouldn't put past them considering the trend of the unbaked game that Nintendo has been releasing. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
What about you, Mac? You thinking of copping this, or you might let this one slide?
It's so tough because I love Splatoon 2 so much.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm going to play it that much if I buy it. I think it really is so tough. It'll probably be like, if anything, an impulse buy, seeing everybody else buy it, and then I'll pick it up and play for a bit. But yeah, I don't know. Yep. It's just weird because I love Splatoon. It is. And I'd like to buy it. I would, but I don't know if it makes sense.
Yeah. I'm kind of the same way. I mean, I move into my dorm at college on September 3rd. Splatoon 2 comes out September 9th. So like, I'm just thinking logically here. If I buy this game, it's going to become a $60 paperweight for me. Like, I really don't see myself at college playing this game much because there's no local multiplayer that we know of. There's no well, I guess there is if you have 2 Switches, but like, I just play Mario Kart and Smash Bros on my same Switch on the TV with my friends. Like, if we're playing video games, that's what we're doing. So like, I guess I could buy it, and then when I'm not working on classes, not hanging out with friends, and not editing videos, then I play Splatoon. But like, I want to, like, if I was like a couple years younger and had more free time and was able to play this game, I would be way more hyped for it. But I've kind of resigned myself to become a casual Splatoon fan. I loved Splatoon 1 was the most hype I think I've ever been for a game ever when that came out. I was so over the moon excited for that game. Splatoon 2, loved that game. It's still my most played Switch game at like 400 hours, I think.
Jesus.
I just don't think I'll be able to dedicate that time to Splatoon 3, which is why these smaller changes that I would have loved, a couple years ago, being a big Splatoon fan, they just don't really excite me as much.
It's just missing like one, like, there's not even a new ranked mode. Like, there's not some new thing to do. Yeah. Which is just, like, I think that's the thing that's tipping me towards the not buy. Like, if there was a new ranked mode, new multiplayer, just something something.
Yeah.
You know.
The only new thing they have is they have like 3-team turf war, which is super cool, only in Splatfest.
Yeah.
Which is once a month for like a 48-hour period.
Yeah.
That's not justifiable. If I'm looking for a new mode, which I mean all of us are in order to willingly purchase the game,
Yep.
that is not, that is not the mode. I probably end up still buying it, and I'll play through the single player campaign, maybe try and get rank S in all the ranked modes, which, is pretty, it's not like a huge time commitment. I'm not playing it much more than that, which sucks, but that's just the way it is.
Yep. So I think end thoughts, I think we can kind of all agree. You're going to love this game if you're a big Splatoon fan, but if you're kind of like a casual fan that, is just like a Nintendo fan that's looking to see, what they release, and you might not get as much play out of this one as you would Splatoon 2, just based on the fact there's no like wow changes, just kind of quality of life and just a couple small things. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. Like, yeah, you summed it up perfectly. All right, what do we have next? Fan questions?
All right, we do have the fan questions. So you guys send in questions on Discord, Twitter, or YouTube comments, and, we answer them. So here we go.
All right.
So, yeah, first question here from Zach207 asking, what is your favorite course in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and what is your favorite course in the Booster Pass so far?
So let's just answer the first part of that question, because we did kind of already answer favorite booster course pass.
Yes, we did.
Within the last, earlier segment.
Yep.
I'm trying to think, does any booster course pass course beat my favorite course that was in the base game? I don't think so far.
It doesn't, but I think the more interesting question is, does any course in the booster course pass beat a course in the base game?
True. That is true.
Does the best course in the booster course pass beat the worst course in the base game?
1,000%. 1,000% for me. Yeah, a lot of the booster, like if I'm doing a tier list of all the Mario Kart courses, a fair amount of those booster course passes are in A, and a couple are even in S tier. I love the courses, like graphics, schmaffics. I just straight up don't care. If I'm racing on Mario Kart, straight up, I always play Mario Kart with other people, so I'm going to be in split screen regardless. I'm always moving fast, 150 or 200cc. I'm not stopping to admire the graphics. The fact that it's split screen, I'm probably like a fourth of the TV. I just straight up don't care. So yeah, Ninja Hideaway, Sydney Sprint, Waluigi Pinball, Mushroom Gorge, all those courses are probably in the upper echelon of overall Mario Kart courses for me, but none of them beat my favorite course of all time, which is Big Blue.
Big Blue.
So, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'd agree that those are good. I'm not sure they beat any of them in the base game for me. Like, I'm trying to think.
So you're saying you'd rather play Toad's Turnpike? You're hopping on choosing Toad's Turnpike over Waluigi's Pinball? That's got to be cap. That has to be.
Besides Waluigi's Pinball, maybe like Mushroom Gorge. I'm not even sure. I think I'd rather. It's funny. I don't think I like Coconut Mall that much. Like, even in Mario Kart Wii, I don't think it's a good course. I think it's kind of boring. The music slaps, but
okay.
Like, I don't think it's that good.
I kind of get that. I think Waluigi Pinball is like layout wise a bit boring, but like even like I'm looking at, you're thinking Toad's Turnpike is better than like the majority of courses.
I think it's better than like Calamari Desert.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look at Shroom Ridge, which is essentially Toad's Turnpike, but not just a figure 8. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Because Shroom Ridge is like not one of people's favorites from the DLC. It's in Wave 1. It's kind of a forgettable course, but like even that I say clears Toad's Turnpike. Like Toad's Turnpike is a figure 8 with trucks on it, and this is like an actual course with cars on it.
It's
I like the
spicy.
night thing. I think it's cool having it at night riding around like a highway. I think it's cool. Bro, my favorite Mario Kart track is Baby Park, so you can like all of my.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, your opinions are invalid, and no, I'm kidding. I think definitely the worst courses in 8 Deluxe are not as good as the best courses. I definitely disagree with that, but
I also disagree with Mac. Yeah.
What is though your favorite course then in the entire game? Both of you, I guess, because mine's Big Blue, so that's
Baby Park.
Oh, you did just say that, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Mac, you're killing me. I think I'm gonna have to. I'm just No, I go Coconut Mall for sure. I love it.
Valid. It's a great course.
Yeah.
Well,
and I also like.
Then it's not a good choice.
I also
He's
like
just
the
hitting
update
he's
where
salty.
they
He's
did the
hitting
little like
cars at the
spinning
end.
cars.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that
still,
was
I've seen
cool.
people say it's better. Still not nearly as good as if they just go side to side. But
Yeah.
it's something at least. It's
Yep.
something. Adds a
For
little
sure.
bit of dynamism to that final section.
Yep. All right, so next question here from Presto the Magnificent, asking, what do you think the next 2D Mario game will be like? I think, Thomas, you should go because I think you were going to do a video kind of.
Yeah, probably still
On the
eventually.
topic.
I think they gotta make it into either an endless level or an open world, something like that. I think 2D Mario, the age of 2D Mario booting you back to the overworld and you moving over and clicking the button or retrying the same level, I think that's got to be over. Especially now that Mario Maker 2 allows people to make their own overworlds. That entire age has got to be over. It's got to be one big level, maybe like 8 big levels or something like that. And you start off in a 2D version of Peach's Castle. There are different paintings. You have to play through the first world or level, I guess, which is the grass level. And instead of it, being you go from section to section, it's just all one big level. Maybe there's like 10 power stars hidden in there. You have to collect 5 of them, which are all different unique platforming challenges. Once you collect 5, you can warp back to Peach's Castle. The next painting unlocks. That's maybe an ice world. You go into that, and maybe the next one's like a 2D version of New Donk City. Like, I think that's the style of 2D Mario that would be most unique, considering that we haven't gotten a new 2D Mario since 2012. Mario Maker, if you count that as being a new 2D Mario, it ruins the future of 2D Mario because it means that there's infinite possibilities. Like, even with the limited tool set you get in Mario Maker 1 and 2, there's infinite amount of levels that can be made. I think it's got to be some sort of open world or at least a massive change to the structure. So new Super Mario Bros. Is what I think they're going to call it. No,
yeah, I mean, I think that's a really good idea. That would be interesting. And then maybe you could have like the flagpoles kind of indicating like, when you go from like 1-1 to 1-2 or whatever, and then it, also subsequently saves your game when you hit that, and you can kind of like freely go back and forth between. But yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I mean, I would love that. Unless you kind of consider like the 3D world style, like a hybrid 2D. I mean, I don't know. You could say
think
like
that's the future.
Yeah,
I honestly don't think they're gonna make a new style 2D Mario game ever again. I think.
They're definitely done. Style. Yeah, they're definitely done with the new Soup games. I'm just wondering if they'd make like a Super Mario 3D Universe, like the fan title that I've come up with, because they've had Land, World, Universe, possibly. I don't know.
Okay, wait. So Mac, you don't think they're ever gonna make any type of 2D Mario again, and it's just gonna be like that?
I think it's gonna be like 3D World, style? Or like 3D.
Oh
Land.
wow,
yeah.
okay,
that's a pretty good take too. Yeah.
Because I feel like those kind of fill up that like niche. I feel because
you're totally right.
They obviously could, style, but like I don't know. I don't think there's many more creative things they can come up with for like that kind of 2D style game.
Yeah, that's why I think it's got to be a huge shakeup, like a non-linear 2D Mario or something, which is kind of interesting. I don't know how you make a non-linear 2D platformer that's not like a Metroidvania, like a platforming focused non-linear. It's interesting. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff they could do. I just hope that whatever they do, it still feels like Mario. 2D Mario has a very definitive style that no other game has been able to capture for me. Even the best platformers I've ever played feel nothing like 2D Mario. And I like if they do something that changes that, like you got to do backtracking or something like that, that will take me out of it for sure. I think that's the best answer I can give with not knowing at all what Nintendo's thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I think like if they went that kind of route, like what if they did a sequel to 3D World, which I think we would all love. I mean, like I think Super Mario 3D Universe that could be an idea, right? I mean, like why not? I think 3D World plus Bowser's Fury has sold pretty well. So I mean, it really just comes down to like what they're developing right now, like what Nintendo's developing Mario wise. Whether that be like a new 3D Mario, like Odyssey 2, or if they're just going the 2D route. I mean, we don't really know, so it'll be interesting. But kind of follow-up question, if they do make another 2D game, or like Max said, kind of like a 3D World style game that's kind of like a hybrid or the in-between, when do you guys think that would, hypothetically be released or announced, I should say?
I think that's
literally whenever.
2024. Yeah.
Literally whenever.
You're right, they could do it whenever. I think I don't think they would do it next year. I don't know why. I really feel like if Odyssey 2 is going to happen, it's happening next year. I think they'll gun for the repeat of Breath of the Wild early, because Breath of the Wild just got delayed. It's happening early next year.
Yep.
Could be March, and then we could get Odyssey in the fall, winter, which is what happened in 2017, which is by far, I'd say, overall, looking back at Nintendo, 2017 is probably their most successful year of all time.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the Switch is going to be their most successful console of all time. It's already their most successful home console. Will probably end up passing the DS, just with the way it's continued to sell. And that year is responsible for all of the Switch. If 2017 happens even a little bit differently, we are not in this position today.
For sure.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think next year Odyssey 2 could be the move. So then maybe the year after that or the year after that.
I'm gonna say like 2024, maybe 2025. So I don't know. All right, and last question here from Chris Tendo asking, do you think Nintendo will ever go back to making console and handhelds not as hybrids?
First of all, rest in peace, Chris Tendo's channel. His channel got hacked, deleted. I DM'd him. We're in contact because I know how it got fixed when it happened to us. So hopefully someday his channel comes back. They take a while. So Chris, if you're listening to this, bro, I know it sucks, but hopefully it all gets fixed out. I'm doing some work behind the scenes, talking to people who helped me get mine back. So hopefully it all pans out.
I remember the 24 hours of when we lost the channel. That was like the craziest experience ever, because it was like
someday we'll do a podcast
episode talking about that. Yep, that was.
I
before
wasn't
Max
there, so I'd love to hear about what happened. Yeah.
It's just wild, man.
Yeah, it is. It is strange.
Wild.
But anyway,
to answer your question, no, I don't think so. I don't even know if you read it. Did you read it?
I did.
The question yet?
I did.
Okay, yeah. No, I do not think they will ever go back. I feel like they actually. Okay, should they? No, absolutely not. Will they? Yes, because Nintendo is unpredictable and they do whatever the opposite is of what I think makes the most sense for them.
True.
I feel like they've really hit their stride here, though, guys. Like, the Switch is so successful. Nintendo is loving it. Like, imagine the release of, the launch of the Switch and the Switch's, entire life. But they also had to support, the 4DS or, the Game Boy Advance 2 or something. Imagine they had a specifically handheld console and then a dedicated home console, and they had to support both. I don't even understand how they ever were able to support two consoles, because even right now, it feels like the Switch is bare on releases. At least it has been for the past year or so. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I think there's a reason for
they're
that,
ever going to switch.
We'll talk about that in another episode.
Probably COVID, eh? But...
right now, I don't know if that's still an issue. I'll say it right now. I feel like maybe they're thinking of releasing a new console pretty soon, or announcing a new console pretty soon, in terms of an upgrade to the Switch. To answer this question, I don't think they will go back to handhelds. I think the future of Nintendo consoles as of right now is upgrades to the dock, and obviously just the specs of the Switch, but the actual concept of the Switch, I think, is here to stay for a little bit. I don't know where you go from here, because when you hit this point, why not try to go off it? Go off that success, and they're starting to build a good retro library. It's taking them a while, but they're getting there. They've been to N64 now, and we've seen leaks and rumors of GBA or Game Boy as a whole, coming to online possibly next year, something like that. So. Yeah, I don't think so.
Here's where I think the whole Switch thing falls apart. I think eventually cloud gaming is going to be the future of all gaming in general. And having the Switch, I don't know how they'll be able to do that with a handheld like the Switch. Cellular? You think they'll have cellular Switches?
Yeah, I think so. I think if cloud gaming is going to happen, they'll make a Switch model that has a 5G chip in it. I mean, Sony did that years ago, and obviously that failed because Sony never supported their handheld consoles. But I think if Nintendo really goes all in on cloud gaming, which I don't think will happen for at least another decade, but if they go all in, stop manufacturing everything else, don't even ship the system with internal memory, and just say, hey, stream your games full, eventually they'll hit a they'll have to hit a cloud gaming, cellular, or make you use a personal hotspot or something. I don't know. But yeah, I think digital gaming we'll probably I think cartridges are probably not super long for this world, which kind of blows. But I think eventually, if we get a Switch 2, not a Switch Pro, but like in maybe 5-10 years, we get a sequel to the Switch, which is like a completely new console, but still retains the Switch gimmick.
Yep.
I think there's a chance that the boxes you buy in games will have a code, and that's it.
Man, that's possible.
Yeah,
that's possible.
Scary time for game preservation.
Yeah, I really don't. I don't like that idea because like if you don't have like really good internet, you kind of get like screwed on that. Like I do, but there was one time that I didn't. Like Thomas, you would know because we've been through
the
it.
48-hour upload grind.
Oh god, yeah.
Where
Awful.
you'd start an upload and then a couple days later we'd be able to post.
Yep. Right. And
fun times.
Even Mac recently, like his internet just sometimes
Wi-Fi, sometimes it just decides it doesn't want to 4-hour upload speed with a crash with a file going into the cloud and having to redo it. Yeah, it's great.
And as soon as your Wi-Fi gets fixed, I hope you understand I'm moving back, getting that good old dorm Wi-Fi, baby. So
hell yeah.
Life goes on.
Yeah.
Yep.
What can you do?
Yep. But anyway, interesting question. I don't think they will go back to, console and handhelds. I think hybrid is probably the way to go for now, at least for the next couple years here. Because, as Thomas kind of alluded to, it is
you're right,
with Nintendo so unpredictable, we really don't know. We'll never know until they tell us.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
Yes. That, I believe, is the final of our questions, which leaves us just with you guys. We just want to talk with the audio and visual listeners for a hot sec. So Nintendo Tonight hopefully is coming back. Like, you guys see Switched Up. The growth on Switched Up has been super cool. We just hit 130K as we're recording this, which is awesome because we haven't hit one of those milestones in a while.
Yep.
The podcast, Mac and I were talking about this earlier. I think we brought it up with PJ, but if not, this is world premiere for PJ too. We're thinking of hitting the podcast bi-weekly for a bit because just as we're continuing to grow as we're continuing to grow Switched Up, get everything back into the flow of things, experimenting with shorts, we think bi-weekly is the best way to provide you the best content, so we're not just like throwing up one podcast a week. Instead, we're able to focus on high quality videos on Switched Up and then get you better podcasts with segments that are less just like us talking about the news and more like, trivia or slideshows or Shark Tank pitches, like the fun stuff we've been doing in the past. So hopefully that is, A-okay with you guys. If you are excited for that, let us know. If you have any feedback, tweet us at Nintendo Tonight. We monitor that account very closely. Anything else, Mac, PJ, you guys want to talk to the
we are all good
gang?
Yeah, I'd say just go watch the Kirby Facts video and
they already have.
That's
the highest viewed video
go
of
check
all
out
time.
all the other ones,
Yeah, check out the Pokemon Facts. We posted that today. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. Check out just all the videos. They've been
all
bangers.
the videos. Go watch all of them.
They've been bangers. And just a little sneak peek for Nintendo Tonight fans. Hopefully between the end of, this podcast launching and the next podcast, episode 36 you hear, the Nintendo Direct 2 will have been uploaded. So big leaks coming in from the Switched Off headquarters. But working on some of those trailers, cooking stuff up in the lab. It's pretty fire. I think we're doing some good work over there. So get excited for that. Hit that subscribe button on both the Nintendo Tonight channel and the Switched Off channel if you haven't. And then also, last plug. I know we've been just plugging stuff. Check out Switched Off Shorts. It's linked in like the description, I think, of our videos, and it's linked on like the About page of our channel because we're fooling around with the idea of posting Nintendo Tonight clips and they would go up there. So if you're interested in that at all, check that out, Switched Off Shorts on YouTube. And Max running some TikTok stuff. I don't know.
And go to TikTok at Switched Up, We got some
there
stuff
you go.
going
There you
on
go.
there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Banging.
Check out my SoundCloud, and do that as well. So.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Bangers on luck. No, seriously though, guys, we do appreciate all the support.
Yeah.
Oh, he's cooking up some heat in GarageBand.
We're gonna get an intro for you by the next podcast. We're
That
gonna
is
get an intro.
That is cap. For maybe we will get it. I don't want to put that out there though, because we are not entirely sure. But potential. There's potential. Eventually, we will have an intro to the podcast. It's something we've been looking at for a bit. But with that out of the way,
if you're into music, hit us up. Okay, you can go. Finish the episode.
Inclined.
Finish the episode.
Actually, at this point, let's just keep talking. What does everyone thought? Like, what are your thoughts, Mac?
I don't know. I'm just so
in
excited
general.
for like, you know, the podcast
Why does
and
this
the
always
channel in
happen?
general.
Why does this always happen?
We're just having too much fun, man. Don't want to
Yeah.
end it.
Yeah.
True.
We'll just keep going for another like 5 minutes, you know?
I feel like I should just
Cap.
like
All right,
end
see you
it.
guys.
Yeah. See ya.
Ending it.